All right, so we got Anwar Scott in the building,
You gonna
aka
say the government though? You always
yeah,
wild as shit.
government, aka DMVHoodzAndNewz.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you pulling up, man,
Man,
for
what's
real.
going on, man? Early straight, man.
Chilling,
Nigga, I'm
man.
tired of shit. This nigga got me out here doing interviews early in the morning. I don't care about today. Hey, the
Yeah,
job you do, you do this morning. I don't do mornings, bro.
yeah, nah,
I'm
nah,
on at 12 o'clock.
yeah, nah, hey, nah. I appreciate you pulling up though, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so just kind of like getting started off with everything, man. Just talk about where you from and where you grew up and what was your childhood and everything like.
Yeah. All right, so I'm from Uptown, Northwest, most of my life. Not all my life for Uptown for real. I just recently moved like some years back. I moved to Southeast, or like South. I had lived a couple other places in the city, Southwest, Southeast, a little bit in Suitland. But like from literally, I had a Northwest birth certificate from 1 years old, from 0 years old to 25, 26 years old. I lived uptown, Northwest. I lived everywhere else, at all different parts of uptown, all the way up top near Rent House, Shopper. My great grandma used to live around 35 when I was young, but the neighborhood I grew up most of my life is Detroit Park. You know what I'm saying? When I was young, that's right by Howard and all that shit like that. I grew around there most of my life. Yeah,
So being from uptown, how did that like kind of like shape,
uptown was fun. Yeah, Northwest was uptown was fun. It was just like it was culture. You know what I'm saying? Uptown. Like now you go uptown, you really like you don't really you could it's like reminiscence of it, but it's not really there no more. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it used to be no more. So it's like it's kind of like I don't know. It was just like because I grew up in a somewhat mixed like so like I told you I used to live by like Petworth Metro Station. So the neighborhood was mixed. You had Hispanics and blacks. We all like lived with each other when we was kids. And then when I moved around Detroit Park, it was mostly like it was all black people. Wasn't no mostly black. It was all black people. You know what I'm saying? But like even with that, it was like always like a balance. Like yeah, we in the streets, but we ain't gonna let the kids see that. You know what I'm saying? Like we not gonna let the kids see that. You know what I'm saying? If you live in other parts of like northeast, southeast, and this and the third, don't get it twisted. The same shit go on uptown that it go in northeast and southeast, especially in my generation. I'm like the last generation of the pre-gentrification. It was going on everywhere, but you could tell uptown it was a certain level of code. You know what I'm saying? It was code of conduct. When I started hanging in northeast and southeast and start going places, it was like a little bit more looser. Like just do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And third, like don't get it twisted. Like it wasn't perfect at all, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't realize I lived on a whole drug strip until I got older. You know what I'm saying? It didn't click into my mind because the old heads always used to like keep that away from us from seeing that type of stuff in a way. You know what I'm saying? If we couldn't avoid it, it's nothing we could do about it. But they try their hardest, and they'll be role models for the like. There will be real life role models for the community. Like you know what I'm saying? They really get on your ass. You walking around the neighborhood and you ain't let your mother know. And I remember this to this day. Shout out to it was an old head from my way, bro. I was like arguing with my mother. I was like 13 years old, right? 13 years old, and like everybody was outside on my block and shit. And I remember I was angry at my mother. You know, my mother had a little problems and shit. You know what I'm saying, growing up. But I remember specifically, I was like, man, I was mad at first. She didn't let me in the house. You know what I'm saying? I was just mad and furious about that. So I was like, nigga, fuck, I fucking hate her ass. And, I'm just going off. So nigga just realized came to me like, bro, don't ever disrespect your mother like that, nigga. I kill you. I'm like, bro, I'm only 13 years old, bro. He told me to kill me. But I saw the tears going out his eye. He was telling me he ain't had no mother. And you know what I'm saying? And, I never really got detailed to talk to him about that. But I'm pretty sure, like, I think it was more so like, you know what I'm saying? He probably did the same thing, but he ain't got no mother to talk to that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no mother. His mother died. So, you know what I'm saying? It was more so like, yeah, it was just like, damn, like, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your mother. You only got one mother and shit. So it was like, it was that type of level. You had to have that type of, and mind you, he was in the streets. He was on the block in the trenches. Like, you know what I'm saying? Getting down, getting money on the block. But he saw that. He's like, bro, I realized, like, if you wasn't the age you was, I realized I'd kill you. He realized I would smack the shit out of him, like for disrespecting him like that. But it was that's what it was. It was a sense of community. It was codes. It was a different era. Like it was codes. Like now these youngins they don't have no code. Like you know what I'm saying. We not having to shoot out with our grandma. You know what I'm saying. Out here like taking her clothes and all that. You know what I'm saying. Like unless she in danger, like she taking her laundry clothes or her groceries in the house and nothing like that. Or we ain't doing this around her. You know what I'm saying. That's what I really grew up around. That's the difference between Uptown. Like I say, was between Uptown and all the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think led to, that change in like
I
morality?
think um, just a new generation, and I'm glad you asked that question because I think our generation, you know what I'm saying, and I ain't scared to say my age. I'm 35, right? I think what my generation was, we wanted to be the young niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted to be the young niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, even to this day, people within that late 20s, early 30s range, they still in the clubs. You're still on Night Street. It ain't nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong having a good time. But you still, like, portray yourself like you still a youngin'. You know what I'm saying? Out here. You know what I'm saying? When you really, like 36 years old with 3 kids and two baby mamas and you know what I'm saying? But it's like in your mind, your picture, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I see people I grew up with, like real life and music videos with guns and all type of stuff, like with the young niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like do whatever they on, I'm on, like type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Where we came from that and we need to be more role models and stuff like that for the community. But we want to be part of that action, you know what I'm saying? So I think our generation didn't really grow up mentally like our generation, we had the older dudes, and and another reason why I think of that is because a lot of the older dudes before our generation, like they got locked up. A lot of them with the law in or went to other little prisons and like when the prisons went to the feds. So we kind of had to raise ourselves. You know what I'm saying? In a way, we had a few old heads, but we had to really raise ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So we raised ourselves. We wasn't really rightfully guided. So you know what I'm saying? With the new generation, what we gonna do? We gonna be on whatever they wanna be on. I'm just saying in general. And I think that's what it is also. You know what I'm saying?
Growing up, what was like some of the challenges that you faced?
A lot of challenges, man. Academically and all that. Me growing up, with learning disabilities, what I'm saying, this, that, third, was a struggle in school. You know what I'm saying? I just realized I just called my mother like because I get distracted real easily. So I'm like very easily. Like I go from try to make the baby bottle to watching something on TV, like in the instance, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Mom, did I ever get diagnosed with ADHD? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, this explains a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. So, um, academically, and then like just neighborhood wise, like I never portrayed myself. You see me in person, I'm 6 foot, like I'm 6'3" in person. You know what I'm saying? I would never portray myself like I was an overly tough guy, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if push kind of shove, I'll fight and defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But like, as a kid growing up in Leroy Park in the '90s and the 2000s, that was rough. That was very rough. Like, you know what I'm saying? You been around my neighborhood, but you ain't been around like, me and you talk. You say you been around my neighborhood, and your sister with the school around there. But I moved around there when Leroy Park was Leroy Park. You know what I'm saying? When my street, I grew up on like the 300 400 block of Elm Street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When my block was like, you know what I'm saying? When it was, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was the worst part of the neighborhood, but I'm just saying it was live and active and stuff like that. So I grew up in a neighborhood like where you had to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I'm coming from a whole different neighborhood. Yeah, it's treacherous around there, but niggas chilling for real. You come around here, it's a younger 10 years older to hoop to get chased by the feds. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like living in Southeast and No West. You know what I'm saying? It was like that growing up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
How did all of that like kind of shape your perspective on how you view life and like
Uh, you know what? It took whiles, years, like to develop that, like to understand why everything was going like why. Like I always would question like why do people treat me like that? Like, and I didn't even get to it though. Like I got bullied a lot when I was young.
mm,
So like I got bullied a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because I was always tall all my life. So
yeah,
I get bullied by a lot of older kids. Like, but the older kids might be shorter than me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you think a motherfucker like a youngin, he be a preteen like 12, 13 years old, right? But he bullying a 9, 10-year-old, but the 9, 10-year-old is older than him. I mean,
yeah,
bigger than him, like size wise, right?
yeah,
So like, yeah, so it was a lot of that going on this shit. So you know what I'm saying? I'm a believer. I'm a firm believer in the creator. So
mm,
I just believe like everything was decreed and meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
To like teach me lessons and stuff like that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
To teach you lessons of like and this that, and third. So I think it molded me in a way where it's like because I was like just a real good happy kid growing up.
mm,
So I think like it taught me that life ain't fair. Like
yeah.
everything don't go your way in life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.